Welcome back to Championship Court here at MLP Columbus. Another Group A matchup here. BLQK taking on the Lions. We had a great matchup that we were kind of off on for that last one, Chad, but it was a good match. We caught the end of it. But here's the BLQK Lions matchup. What stands out for you here, Chad, in this one this afternoon?
Sorry, my mic was off. Yeah, the Lions had a tough one this morning against Florida Smash. So they're looking to come back, make up a little bit of lost ground. I think it's going to come down to mixed doubles in this one. Wilson and Wright played together earlier. They're a good matchup, but again, you're going up against BLQK, super strong team. If they get their momentum going and they get on that roll, they're an extremely hard team to stop. So I think right here with women's doubles, McMillan and Wright really need to come out early, play some clean pickleball, take a few risks here and there, but again, we're looking at these win probabilities, and they're not 50-50 or 60-40. Like we've been seeing, something like this, 74-26. So the matches have been closer than these probabilities have been showing. So anything's possible, but again, Todd and Tarashenko, extremely strong team. It's going to be a little bit of an uphill battle for McMillan and Wright.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Irina Tarashenko, Paris Todd feeling really good going into this match. And like we showed with that win probability at 74 for Paris Todd and Irina Tarashenko, McMillan and Wright have their work cut out for them if they want to come back, because it wasn't pretty for them early on against the Florida Smash today. As you mentioned, they lost all 4 matchups. Looking to answer here this afternoon against BLQK. As players finish warm-ups here on Championship Court, looks like these ladies are just about ready to go. Doing the coin toss right now to see who is picking.
So right here in Group A, we've got BLQK and Florida Smash both winning their earlier matches. Jackrabbits and Lions are pretty much even within this grouping. So we'll be looking here again. It may be a little bit of a tale to be able to tell the stronger team. Now we're getting these second matchups within the group, and kind of preempt a little bit for tomorrow morning of what type of match that we're going to see here in Group A between BLQK and Florida Smash, depending on these afternoon matches. It's certainly loud in here. I feel like I have to scream.
Looks like our ladies are set to go. Olivia McMillan will be serving to start here.
So last time in Newport Beach, when Wright and McMillan were playing together for the first time, they were going Wright on the right, McMillan on the left, going 2 backhands in the middle.
Yeah, they were playing what we would consider quote-unquote backwards, keeping those forehands out of the middle. counter there from Etta Wright. Nice job, good hands.
Yeah, and Todd was all over that, just getting a little too big with that swing. But we saw this morning in BLQK's match against the Jackrabbits. Jackrabbits had some success going with that middle ball against Todd and Tereshchenko. See if Wright and McMillan are going to take that similar strategy, trying to push Tereshchenko and Todd into the middle to open up those outside corners.
I like the decision from Etta Wright trying to go middle right there. That's fine, but now you got to realize that Tereshchenko will pull that forehand, so she's got to be ready for it.
Yeah, and she just got it a little too close to Tereshchenko's body to allow her to be able to do that speed up. If Tereshchenko's stretched out toward the middle, she's not able to hit that as well.
There's that backhand again we talked about earlier. Etta Wright needs to get out of that and avoid that backhand, that cut from Tereshchenko. Oh, good talk from Tereshchenko, because Todd was locked and loaded for this forehand.
I think Tereshchenko scared Todd more than anything, and that caused her to miss the ball. But Tereshchenko actually called that one early. Typically, we see it right as the person's hitting it, saying out. So good communication there.
Just long in the middle there from Etta Wright, and a good answer here from BLQK after they went down 2-0. A little 4-0 run of their own.
Yeah, and like we always talk about, pickleball matches usually come down to errors. And I said it at the beginning, but Wright and McMillan have to play clean pickleball. You don't get many chances against Tereshchenko and Todd.
And when you do, you got to take advantage. What a nice job of getting Etta Wright off balance there is BLQK. Just missing that backhand drop is Tereshchenko.
Good drive from Wright. Wasn't overly powerful, but it was almost like an aggressive drop right there with how much spin that she had put on it, dropping it below the net.
Good point construction there from Etta Wright as she challenged up on Tereshchenko and came away with a ball she could put away.
Yeah, I think there was a ball earlier that she potentially could have sped up, and she chose to back off on it. But she did a good job staying in that point.
Nice ball, finds a hole in the middle.
But what opened up that hole
was the pull, then the overhead that she pulled McMillan out.
Yep.
And then finds that hole in the middle.
Yeah. I mean, I was watching the match before, and Dekel Bar has one of the hardest overheads. Yates and Diescu were standing at the back, and he's trying to blast it through, and they're just pushing it back. They ended up winning the point. Even regardless if you have a strong overhead, you gotta be able to create that hole first.
Irina Tereshchenko digging that ball off her shoe tops to stay in that point. McMillan trying to pull that back crosser body was a little wide.
Yeah, not a whole lot of room to try to create that angle there. You know, it's hard, especially as a lefty. You think about pulling cross body. You go into short court.
Ball put away aggressively from Paris Todd right here.
Yeah, and that was an excellent ball by Tereshchenko to set that up. Rolled it down to McMillan's feet. Got a good job of getting a paddle on it from McMillan, but Todd just too strong putting that one away.
A little miscommunication off the tape right there, but I'm seeing a pattern right now from Tereshchenko. Almost seems like she's going at McMillan exclusively now, especially on that last point.
Yeah, and she's hitting it really, really good speed ups. She's going into the body, into the hip, across the waist, jamming McMillan. McMillan, in order to counter that, she's going to have to get that contact point a little bit further out. Otherwise, Tereshchenko is just going to keep on. And that was a better job there. She set up earlier. Contact point was out in front. She hit a ball that went back down. Once that ball gets into the body, like we saw the point before, Tereshchenko is just going to keep on attacking.
That's good protection from Etta Wright. As she saw the McMillan getting picked on, she pinches in and takes that forehand. And good job by McMillan just fighting those off, but just too much on that overhead from Paris Todd. And we're going to change ends here with Todd and Tereshchenko up 11-8. Trying to take advantage here as we know how important the women's doubles matchup is in this matchup, don't we, Chad?
Yeah, I mean, you said the stat earlier this morning of 35 out of the 46 matches that have already been played for MLP. I mean, this was a stat going into it, but of those 35 wins of women's doubles, they went on to win the match. So this first point is extremely important. It takes a little bit of pressure off, knowing that you've got to go into the next three to win one to get to a dream breaker. You know, rather than trying to win two out of the next three, you know, just to get to there.
Out of the end change, Irina Tereshchenko will be serving.
Rushed that one a little bit. Didn't quite get underneath it.
Nice ball from Etta Wright as you hear Chuck Taylor on the sideline there.
And I like that from Wright, taking a calculated risk. I think It's a good strategy from McMillan and Wright to speed up a few balls here. Todd and Tereshchenko have gotten pretty comfortable.
Nice two-hander there from McMillan. And last thing that Tereshchenko and Todd need is Olivia McMillan fired up. She feeds off of that energy. That's the type of player she is, and that's not what Tereshchenko and Todd want right now. Oh, almost goes back, gets back over.
I tell you what, if that goes over though, that's the potential to kick back over the net once it bounces.
Just wide cross court there from McMillan. Tereshchenko and Todd regain the 1-point lead.
Oh my God.
Wow. Way to step into a ball, Irina Tereshchenko. I mean, that's textbook. That's how it's done, Chad.
Yeah, and the angles that McMillan and Wright were creating were pulling both Tereshchenko and Todd off the court, but we saw Tereshchenko recognize that once Todd had been pulled out, she moved forward, took up a whole lot of that area, looking for the speed up.
Nice drop on the flip side now from Tereshchenko, and back to a 3-point lead.
Yeah, the Lions can't let these last couple of points weigh them down.
Nice little 2-point run here from the Lions. Oh, and McMillan has a ball that 9 out of 10 times she's going to finish. Oh. That's a veteran right there, just seeing the ball, knowing that ball's going out. Yeah, Chad?
Yeah, I mean, we've seen it. I feel like the Lions right now are kind of getting into it. They're hitting really good balls and making good shots, but then it's disheartening when they keep coming back. So then you try to go bigger. So that was a better job by McMillan there. She didn't try to overhit on this one. She just put it down. Previous ones, you know, once those balls start coming back, you feel like you've got to go bigger, you've got to go harder, and you start making mistakes.
Throughout all that's the one McMillan misses right there.
Yeah, and sometimes those softer ones have a little bit more spin on it, so you think it's going to be right there, and it kind of slides a little bit or it stays down, especially off of a reset ball. You know, typically when we're looking at resetting it, it opens that face up.
All right, Rob Cassidy, our man on the scene down courtside. Rob, what do you got for us?
Nice. It's been a fantastic match so far. As Irina and Paris got to 11 first on that side switch, you know, Olivia and Etta were able to kind of kick it into gear and bring it back into the game, kind of forcing Irina and Paris to kick it into a new gear, and they certainly did. It's a close game still, as they've always been to this game to 21, but to see Paris and Irina kick it into that second gear is a really good way to set the tone for the rest of the match.
Yeah, you're exactly right, Rob, and it is what you're seeing is that second gear here from Paris Todd and Irina Tereshchenko, making something happen here late in the game, right? Knowing they've been here before, we've done this, let's finish this, and now they've stepped up.
Yeah, and we're fairly even with errors right now between BLQK and Lions. I mean, we actually are at 7 apiece, but the difference being BLQK has more winners, and they're playing aggressive on the right balls. They're not trying to force the issue.
Good answer out of the timeout from the Lions. They get on the board. Wow, and Etta Wright and Olivia McMillan, Chad, coming at you.
That was swinging big and going hard right there. Once they got into that firefight, they weren't going to let off.
And just wide off the paddle of Paris Todd. And we are all tied up now at 18 apiece. 3 straight points after the timeout from the Lions. Oh, and they let that ball sail wide, or long, excuse me. And it is a 1-point lead here for the Lions. And BLQK, feeling that pressure, is going to call a timeout. As soon as we say they're feeling good in the driver's seat, 4 straight points from the Lions. What made that happen, Chad?
Yeah, and it was kind of, it's the reverse of what we talked of what I said before with the Lions getting a little disheartened when they were being aggressive, but the ball started coming back. Now it's Tereshchenko and Todd. They're putting good swings on it, but Wright and McMillan are doing a good job keeping those balls in play or taking earlier opportunities to speed it up. So now Tereshchenko and Todd trying to press the issue a little bit more. We saw Todd really aggressive there, going a bigger swing, pushing that ball out deep. Todd and Tereshchenko need to dial it back a little bit here. Tereshchenko going more, staying in those points longer, setting up the good inside-out flick that she has, or a ball sitting up for Todd to be aggressive of, but don't force it, right? We get later in these games and you're like, hey, I'm only 2 points away, 3 points away, and then you're like, I'm going to get there, rather than playing how you got there initially.
Gets a ball about chest high that she just gets on top of a little too much.
And that was a little bit potentially a miss hit by Tereshchenko. The ball stayed up higher than Wright had already set up for. We saw her paddle a little bit lower. So getting up on top of that, hitting down on it, pushed it into the net.
The tape again, it's like pulling a string on a changeup, Chad. You're expecting it so hard, it comes soft, hard to adjust that quick.
Yeah, and McMillan recognized it, got into a good position, but once that ball's slower, it drops faster instead of staying up there. And again, you hit down on the ball because you're following it as that ball's dropping.
Well, now we're all frozen here at 19-20. Straight up old school pickleball scoring here. Can only score on your serve. good talk on the flip side now from Paris Todd, telling Tereschenko not to hit that ball, and they will have match point number 2. And long on the backhand from Etta Wright, and Tereschenko and Todd survive. Great run at the end there from Wright and McMillan, but Tereschenko and Todd pick up the first point for BLQK here in this matchup. Again, a little scare from McMillan and Wright for Tereschenko and Todd, Chad.
Yeah, and they did an excellent job putting the pressure back on Todd and Tereschenko toward the end. But we saw, and especially in that last point, we saw Tereschenko being patient, really good ball control, moving that ball around, and then Etta Wright trying to take the chance of pulling that trigger, but missing that deep. A few too many mistakes toward the end of that one.
All right, so we have our one and only Rob Cassidy courtside. He is with Irina Tereschenko and Paris Todd. Take it away, Rob.
Well, maybe a little tighter than we expected. Awesome match. Irina, going into this match, did you guys have a game plan or any preparation going in, or was the plan just to show up and be a baller and ball out?
That's usually your plan.
Yeah. Be like Irina.
But yeah, we played this team last time in Newport. It was also a very close match. We definitely had a strategy in mind. Our team did a great job reminding us of this strategy when we forgot, and you know, we had some great points. Great job, ladies, Etta and Olivia. And now, let's get it done, boys.
Very good, very good. And with that, great teamwork, Paris. Team BLQK is one of the only teams out there that has the original roster. How does that speak to, you know, the culture that BLQK has done in terms of taking care of business, and how does it feel to be part of Team BLQK?
Oh my gosh, it feels amazing, and I think being able to have the same team all year just builds the unity, and every time we come back together, I keep saying, like a family, so these guys are like my family, so we're going to keep fighting to the very end.
Awesome, so good. Thank you guys, good luck in the next one, and back to you, Dom and Chad.
All right, Rob, thank you so much. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, men's doubles here on Championship Court at MLP Columbus. Don't go anywhere. Major League Pickleball is brought to you by Pro XR Pickleball, Aura, Franklin, and Knock Around Sunglasses.
It's hard to find supplements that work. No, thank you. You need supplements that are backed by science with natural and plant-based ingredients and that are third-party tested. Because cleaner is better. Like Aura Organic. Plant-based supplements made from the Earth's most powerful plants for your immune health, gut health, workouts, and more. Find out more at auraorganic.com.
The Pro XR Pickleball Paddle answers the age-old question of how to get paddle speed and control with the same paddle and one grip, and this is it. Pro XR gives you more spin, greater control, and quicker reloads on every shot in the game, because you always have that constant feel for that leverage and control and paddle speed that we're all looking for. Pro XR is the most revolutionary technology in pickleball.
doing?
Getting our duper tattoos.
Oh, cool.
Hey Cameron, how's it going?
Almost done.
Perfect. Can't wait to see your number.
Number?
Duper, because ratings shouldn't be a surprise. Download the app and claim your free profile today.
I haven't even started yet.
Oh.
Back on championship court, Dominic Catalano alongside Chad Edwards. A good one, Chad. Not much, you know, not something we expected in that women's matchup, but a 21-19 victory for BLQK with Todd and Tereshchenko over McMillan and Etta Wright. But now it's all about the guys here. Navratil and Hewitt versus Chuck Taylor and Thomas Wilson. 68% in favor of Navratil and Hewitt. But what do you see here, Chad?
Yeah, looking at the Duper power rating right there of a 13.33 to a 12.95. Again, you know, looking at these numbers, Wilson and Taylor, they can kind of sneak up on you. Taylor can be very streaky when he gets on fire or gets that momentum going. He can make some really tough shots. So it'll be looking for Wilson and Taylor to put the pressure on Navratil and Hewitt early, taking some chances, speeding some balls up, testing it a little bit. But if Navratil and Hewitt get in their groove, extremely tough team to beat.
Nice pull down the sideline from Zane Navratil. Like you said, Navratil and Hewitt want to answer big here because they did lose their first match of the day. They were their only loss in a 3-1 victory earlier. Nice, and that's coverage right there in the middle from Chuck Taylor.
Yeah, and that's something that Taylor does really well. Uses his good extension, he's good at reach, can cover his good reach. He can cover a lot of court with that. Really strong forearm and wrist as far as not having to take big swings.
Good lead from Thomas Wilson. And a nice start here from the Lions. You know, very similar to, you know, McMillan and Etta Wright settled in. They started out all right against Tereshchenko and Todd. What a lob from Chuck Taylor. Perfect timing right there. Dots that back corner.
Yeah, and he creates a lot of the opportunities, but, you know, like I said, he can be on or he can be off. There's not a whole lot of in between with Taylor sometimes.
Just one too many lobs there from Chuck Taylor. But again, you're playing defense. You're just trying to get that ball back over. Nice work from Taylor and Wilson. And what are they doing so well right there, Chad? Staying in these points a little longer?
Yeah, they're staying in longer, and that's something that Wilson does exceptionally well also, is that he can move that ball around. He stays controlled. Very consistent ball striker, but he can also pull a trigger quickly. Taylor, on the other hand, he's one that's going to try to pull that trigger, but it has to be the right ball, and we just saw there that that's not the right one.
Yeah, definitely not the right one there. A little close to the net, a little low, trying to make something happen, but nothing was really there. TP from Navratil.
And Taylor didn't quite, well, two things can happen there. He takes one more step and takes that in the middle of the body, or takes one more step back to try to combat that angle that Navratil's hitting. We saw the replay. Taylor trying to reach and just catching that ball down near the handle.
Thomas Wilson finishing that off right there. And watch what Chuck Taylor does when Wilson is receiving a serve from Navratil. Wait till it happens again. We'll show you what Chuck Taylor does. Big finish from Taylor. And again, good patience from Taylor and Wilson, not trying to make something happen that's not there.
Yeah, and I like the previous ball before the speed up from Taylor. He had the opportunity to do it, but it wasn't quite there. So he added spin, got the next ball a little bit higher, and that's the one that he sped up.
And good pull right there from Wilson as he catches Hewitt in transition area. Gets that ball ready to shins. Wow, nice pull there from Zane Navratil, going right at the body of Chuck Taylor.
Yeah, the only thing you can do on that one is as soon as you see Navratil try to speed it up is duck, because he's going up center mass right into the sternum. Taylor, pretty tall guy, hard to get out of the way of that ball.
Oh, Wilson trying to get slippery in the middle. Oh, and Hewitt read it so nicely. Incredible point here. Gets this crowd on their feet here. They can appreciate some good pickleball right there.
I mean, Wilson is just going at it right there. Hewitt is getting the paddle on the ball, but in the funkiest way. I mean, you know, dropping the paddle down, it's flicking across, but each time that he does it, it's staying down simply because of how far out in front he is.
Good talk there from Taylor, because Wilson wanted to hit that and play that, but Taylor staying out, and it does sail about a foot long. A little wide, and I think Hewitt changed his mind right there mid-swing.
Yeah, it looked like he was going to drop that down and speed it up into Wilson's body, and then decided to go back cross court. But when you're already locked and loaded, and you've loaded those muscles to go quick, and then go soft with it, he just pushed it too wide.
Oh, Wilson trying to slip that ball down the middle. Now let's see if Watch Chuck Taylor here, see if he gives the hand signal of where this ball is going to bounce. Yep, here it is.
He was right.
And he's helping out his partner is what he's doing with Navratil spin serve. Right off his shoe. Navratil with the around the post.
Yeah, again, I'd like to see Taylor. He's recognizing that Navratil is going to go around. I'd like to see Taylor take another step back just to give himself a little bit more time on that round the post return.
Hewitt ends up hitting that twice. Good pull here.
That's a good spot from Wilson. Made it look like he was going to go down the line. We saw Hewitt shade that way, and he just changed his direction enough up into the armpit that kind of chicken winged Hewitt enough.
And an 11-10 lead on the end change here for BLQK with Navratil and Hewitt. A good matchup here though, Chad. And I like what Taylor and Wilson have been doing early on, halfway through this match, as far as staying in points a little longer. You in agreement, or you'd like to see them do something different here?
No, I like what they're doing. They're not taking unnecessary risks. You know, Taylor has done a better job than what I've watched in past tournaments and previous MLPs, as far as not speeding too many balls up where he's fully extended and only having a wrist flick on. But I think, you know, potentially if one of these teams is going to start making a little bit of a pull away, we may see these rallies start to become a little bit shorter. Navratil and Hewitt have been known to struggle a little bit when their opponents pull that trigger first, because they're always looking for that ball to speed up. So if the Lions can take advantage of that.
That ball lands on the baseline right there for Navratil off the tape. Tough break there for Wilson and Taylor. Oh, and Hewitt just wide right there, and he agrees. As he just misses that, can't hook that back around with the two-handed backhand.
Ooh, off the body.
Off the chest and into the front row for Rafa Hewitt.
Yeah, dropped the paddle, but just couldn't get that right shoulder turned back fast enough.
Wilson called it. You hear him say, coming. But Chuck Taylor trying to get out of the way, thinking it's going to let that ball sail long. Navratil takes something off it, keep it in. Good pull right there from Wilson.
Yeah, it's a good speed up from Wilson. I think he wasn't quite expecting that ball to come back from Hewitt. He hit the right spot that he needed to, but you got to treat that as that 1-2 punch. Speed a ball up into the body. Look to attack the second one. Taylor getting too big there, trying to hit that ball too hard, and we take, a secondary takeback. He gets into position, take that secondary takeback. Now the ball travels a little bit further. It becomes flatter, pushes that ball deeper.
Yeah, now this is what we didn't want to see out of Chuck Wilson, is the unforced errors, and that's all it is. They're easily fixable, but he's got to stay within himself. He's trying to do too much, get everything back on one point. This is the Rafa Hewitt we saw in mixed doubles, Chad, earlier today, where he just started to turn it on at the end, and I think the Lions are feeling that, calling a timeout down by 5.
Yeah, and that's something. That's not a situation where you're going to go hands battle with Navratil and Hewitt, right? They're driving a ball, they're coming behind, they're looking to be aggressive. You can't try and hands battle them as they're pressing forward and they're aggressive on it. That's something potentially to slow it down, create an angle, because they're going to be moving so quickly, it's going to be hard for them to change direction.
All right, so coming out of this timeout, the momentum on the side of BLQK. It's all Navratil and Hewitt here. It was just 12-12 and a 5-point run here from BLQK. Let's see what the Lions with Taylor and Wilson have as far as an answer goes. But right now, Rafa Hewitt is feeling really good. See if he continues that here after this timeout. We come back in, Navratil will be serving. And you see Chuck Taylor and Thomas Wilson have switched sides, which they're allowed to do.
Yeah, allowed to switch sides in a timeout and an end change.
As long as they inform the referee. And now I love what Taylor made an adjustment. That last ball, he could have tried to hit that 180 miles an hour, but he went nice and easy.
Just rolled it instead.
Found that spot.
Sometimes spin's better than power. Oh, he did it again.
Oh, right on cue. It's exactly what we don't want him to do. He's got a couple balls that he can handle.
So that was that was a better job, right? Hewitt drives it. He comes behind it aggressively. Taylor doesn't try to do too much, just hits a slower pace ball and throws the timing off of Hewitt.
Good hands from Wilson to keep him in that point, but Taylor can't answer. It is a 19-14 lead for BLQK. Looking to go up 2-0 here. Nice hands from Chuck Taylor on the first ball on the speed up, and then the put away from Wilson.
Yeah, good read. Nice short, compact swing. They're still going after Taylor here as far as their speed ups, but being on the, I got a net. Being on the left side there, Taylor sits heavily more on the backhand. So now when that ball's being sped up to him, he's already sitting backhand and can just punch back down. Whereas when he's on the right, he has to slide over more, which opens up too much court.
Wow. Navratil and Hewitt almost able to scramble out of that point.
Yeah, but we see with Wilson's defense of the around the post that he got deeper than Taylor did earlier when he missed those two. Wilson angles back a little bit deeper, gives himself some more time.
DP from midcourt.
And he shaped that. Watch him hit the outside part of the ball here and bring it back across, gets outside it, really rolls that right hand, bringing it back in.
I mean, it was pretty much inside the line.
What? Oh, he's still on the ground.
Still on the ground. Wow.
Oh, he chipped over his own feet after he got the other one. Otherwise, he would have got back there and gotten it.
Should have just threw the paddle at the last one. Oh, that ball just missing Chuck Taylor's right shoulder. The Lions are not going away here, Chad. We are frozen here on 19-20 traditional scoring for the rest of the way. Again, Chad, we're seeing the longer the point goes, the more advantage it is for the Lions.
Yeah, especially with the ball movement that they just had right there. They were keeping Hewitt and Navratil off balance, but you can't give away that ball right there.
Drop that third.
Yeah.
Drop it. Like that's not what's getting you back in this. Drop that ball, work your way into a point. Great job by Taylor again. I like when he's able to reach in. I like him taking that ball out of the air, eliminating the space in the ground that Hewitt can cover to come up. There's the drop we're looking for. Oh, again, here we go. And it is game point here for the Lions. Flipping the script here in this men's doubles, Chad. What have they done to kind of flip this? Because with all that energy from that point about 5-6 points ago where Hewitt goes around the post, what's the difference maker to allow the Lions to get back in?
Well, I think right there, and we saw Hewitt getting a little stuck. His feet really wide. That's why he missed that last ball. He didn't move the feet and got spread out. Hewitt expended a ton of energy running, hitting that around the post, and he went back and hit that lob, ended up on the ground. He's been hitting the majority of the balls right here. Wilson and Taylor have kind of honed in on that, put a little bit more pressure on him. And I think that timeout more so there was one, yeah, we're facing match point, or game point, but Hewitt's kind of gassed a little bit right here.
Yeah, and no legs, 2 unforced errors into the net on dinks. Wow, what coverage and a great comeback. And for BLQK, the confidence right now for Navratil and Hewitt, 0-2 today. They bounce back tomorrow, got a win, but again, this is a team event.
Yep.
They were 3-1, won their first matchup here. Let's see what mixed doubles they can do. There's that around the post from Navratil. Watch the cross-court control from Thomas Wilson right there. Nothing Hewitt could do.
But you see how deep Wilson got as Navratil kept pushing out further and further. He recognized that the only way he's going to get that ball in is to go deep back court. So Wilson goes even further back to cut that off. It also pulled Hewitt into the middle more. So just an excellent execution from Wilson and Taylor.
All right, and Rob Cassidy is courtside with Chuck Taylor and Thomas Wilson. What do these guys got to say, Rob?
All right, I'm here with our winners. Thomas Wilson, the ATP winner, defend. We've seen it before. It's a classic Thomas Wilson shot. What was going through your mind during those last critical points in that match?
I was just thinking, get the ball on the court. I mean, Chuck is moving the ball around amazing, and I'm just trying to keep the ball in, survive, and pull it out somehow. So that was amazing. Good job, Chucky.
Yeah, thanks.
Absolutely, and with that being said, one could say this is the year of the Chuck. Am I right? Yeah. Am I right? Yeah, so for you, this is such a breakout year and be playing so well, how does it feel, you know, to be a part of this game and basically being part of pickleball history?
You know, I love being a part of it. MLP's been fantastic. It was one of my goals to be a part of it this year, and can't be happier to be on the team I'm on with my teammates. And just be here in this environment. It's like nothing else, right?
Well, congratulations to you boys. A fantastic performance. Good luck in the rest of the match. Back to you, Dom and Chad.
All right, now the Lions even things up at a game apiece. We'll take a quick commercial break. When we come back, the first mixed doubles matchup here between BLQK and the Lions at MLP Columbus. Don't go anywhere.
It's hard to find supplements that work. No, thank you. You need supplements that are backed by science with natural and plant-based ingredients and that are third-party tested. Because cleaner is better. Like Ora Organic. Plant-based supplements made from the Earth's most powerful plants for your immune health, gut health, workouts, and more. Find out more at oraorganic.com.
The Pro XR pickleball paddle answers the age-old question of how to get paddle speed and control with the same paddle and one grip, and this is it. Pro XR gives you more spin, greater control, and quicker reloads on every shot in the game, because you always have that constant feel for that leverage and control and paddle speed that we're all looking for. Pro XR is the most revolutionary technology in pickleball.
What are you guys doing?
Getting our duper tattoos.
Oh, cool.
Hey Cameron, how's it going?
Almost done.
Perfect. Can't wait to see your number.
Number?
Duper, because ratings shouldn't be a surprise. Download the app and claim your free profile today.
I haven't even started yet.
Oh.
Back here on championship court, MLP, there is nothing else like it. We are all square here at one game apiece. Mixed doubles, first matchup here. It'll be the Lions putting out Etta Wright and Chuck Taylor. BLQK will put out Paris Todd and Zane Navratil. Chad, what are you looking at from this matchup? Taylor feeling good coming off that win, and Zane Navratil probably not real happy coming out of that last one with a loss, and him and you being 0-2 today in men's doubles.
Yeah, I mean, we saw it in the first matchup, but Navratil and Hewitt both able to bounce back in mixed doubles, playing extremely aggressive once they got in there. So we'll probably look for Navratil to step up the intensity again. Todd has been playing well all day. It's going to come down with Wright and Taylor of not trying to press the issue. Right, they're going to have to weather a little bit of a storm from Navratil and Todd with the aggressiveness. But if Taylor and Wright can set themselves up, not trying to pull the trigger too soon, have good ball movement, push it into the middle of the court, spread it back out wide, force the error rather than trying to create the error, I think we're going to see another close matchup here, and it's just going to come down to the line as far as who plays clean to pickleball at the end.
Yeah, and I agree completely. It's going to be weathering the storm. I'm thinking and anticipating that Navratil and Todd are going to come out and play with some pace, see what they can get. But I think if Wright and Chuck Taylor can slow things down, I think that they're going to stay in this, and we'll have another good match here. 2 points the difference in the first 2 games. See how this one turns out. Oh, and it's Chuck Taylor getting aggressive, and that's what I wanted to see more of him in men's doubles, is use his length to reach in and take some balls out of the air.
Yeah, reach in instead of getting big with the backswing. He's got the strength.
Oh, pulled on the middle. And again, Taylor, one of those players that feeds off energy. And if he gets a couple good shots like he just did, you see that energy come out. He's the type of player you want to slow down.
Not too sure what that one was about.
No. And nice setup there as they caught Taylor in transition. Good dig on the first one, Chad, but nothing that Etta Wright can do on that overhead from Paris Todd.
Yeah, and Wright got a little caught up with her feet. That's what caused that first pop-up. You know, she moved out wide well, got pulled out a little bit, but as she was coming back, feet a little too close, not able to get that extension out in front, so the ball got closer to the body and popped it up.
Good ball there from Wright and Taylor as they had Todd pinned at the baseline. Another ball down the middle. Are we seeing a little bit of chink in the armor of BLQK down the middle? That's twice they got burned.
That's also the power of the Yola right there. I mean, that ball looks like it's going 2 feet out, and it dropped six inches inside the line.
We're going hashtag power of the Yola. That's it right there. Chad,
Yo.
that's on you.
That's on me. I was talking more about the spin, not that you smack the crap out of it and doesn't go anywhere.
Oh, that ball off the tape, throws right off just enough.
Taylor having a little chat with Wright.
Now, I don't mind that pull. He's got to stay still, though.
Yeah.
There's no reason for him to try jump that. Just reach in and,
Yeah,
and roll that.
sit there and hold rather than trying to reach and add more power onto it.
Nice ball down the middle there from Zane Navratil.
Yeah, and that's the right move by Etta Wright to slide over to her right down toward the line, because she's going to get a better counterattack on the back end there. Taylor has to follow that as well.
Nice battle won by Etta Wright, cross-court forehand with Paris Todd.
Yeah, and I like her forehand dink. She gets underneath. It's more of a roll than an open face. Putting that pressure on Todd. Good pressure from Taylor there as well. He didn't, see how he stays down through this one? He's not trying to get big and force up to that. He stayed in his legs. He stayed balanced, nice and powerful.
The ball almost rolls over. It peaked, but just did not go. But yes, right on what you just said, Chad, is that Chuck Taylor staying low, staying compact, not getting too big. That's the Chuck Taylor that we're going to find some success out of.
Ooh. A little bit of an uncharacteristic service error from Todd. Jumped up off the paddle.
Coverage from Navratil, but nothing he can really do. But I like that. I love that Chuck Taylor took that last ball out of the air.
Did you see the swing and miss by Taylor on the come swinging gate backhand, and Wright just ripped it behind his paddle.
Nice step in there from Taylor.
Yeah, and that's the movement, and that's the positioning for the poach. You'll slide across the kitchen line, paddle's already out in front, and use the feet to get out there rather than stretching too much.
Chad right there.
Yeah, and she read that extremely well, stayed nice and compact. Again, we keep saying it over and over and over again. You have to, when you're up at that kitchen line, you've got to stay compact. You got to keep the swing short, and it's not a big take back. It's a longer extension. When you extend through the ball, you end up back at the ready position. You can go again. If that elbow or if the swing starts going back behind the body, you're not able to get that extension and end up getting jammed.
Just wide there on the dig from Etta Wright. BLQK within 2 here. It's not a bad ball there from Taylor. He's got to take a little more off that. Oh, Paris Todd getting big right there, saying, I was trying to sneak that by you, but not happening.
Yeah, good setup. Went behind Taylor, forced him to pop the ball up.
That's good ball from Chuck Taylor right there. That's the controlled reach in that we were talking about.
You don't have to be big. You don't have to hit that as hard as you possibly can on those. He adds more spin, and that changes the area that you're looking to go. You know, he goes big, Todd just sticks a paddle there, she puts it back. He adds spin, now he's got to drop that, she's got to drop that paddle down, and it might hit off and kick a little bit more. So, you know, we've talked about spin and angle especially on those high balls, sometimes those are better than trying to go as hard as you can and becoming a little too flat.
Yeah, an 11-10 lead here for Wright and Taylor and the Lions on the end change. We'll see what answers that BLQK has, but before we get to that, let's take a look at Paris Todd's last down the line winner here. And again, it's the setup here, Chad.
Yeah.
She almost knows that Taylor's gonna block this, but she knows the next ball she's gonna get.
And that's what we don't see enough of, not so much in pro pickleball, but with amateur pickleball. You play against an aggressive guy that's covering the middle and encroaching on the middle. The woman is going to keep going to the other woman and pushing further and further out. You've got to go behind the guy at times to keep them honest, or if there's that big enough line, do what Todd did there, speed a ball up and look for that next pop-up to then be aggressive again. But yeah, Taylor sitting in the middle of the court, Todd can just speed that ball up down the line.
Chuck Taylor, forehand winner down the middle. Again, stays nice and short, doesn't try and do too much with it, finds a hole. Taylor reading the speed up from Paris Todd here.
Yeah, no, I mean, that wasn't the best first ball speed up from Taylor, but it was still a speed up that he stuck with, but he changed direction going back behind Navratil, and that's why it became effective.
Nice job. And a good read on the mistake from Paris Todd by Chuck Taylor, forcing the timeout here by BLQK. What do they need to talk about here in this regrouping session during this timeout here, Chad?
Yeah, Wright and Taylor have taken control here as far as ball movement. They've gone behind Paris out wide to the forehand a couple of times now, forced that pop-up. Paris definitely is a little more confident on that backhand side. So once that ball is back behind her, it's difficult to keep that ball down coming back in. Navratil is going to keep sliding further over to try to protect Todd on this one. So we may see them now go behind Navratil. So what I potentially would say for BLQK is like, hey, let's change the tempo of this. Taylor and Wright are controlling the points right now. We need to kick it into higher gear earlier, play that fast game that we like playing, rather than letting Wright and Taylor control it or dictate where that ball's going to be going.
Let's see what game plan they're going to come in here and attack with after this timeout, down by 3 at a right serve. At a right, continuing to be aggressive right there. And she's found a happy spot going cross court against Paris Todd.
Yeah, Todd is struggling a little bit with that forehand dink right now. She hits that top spin dink, and it's just sitting up on her. I like that speed up from Navratil. He pulled the trigger before there was an opportunity for Todd to pop another ball up. Good coverage by Wright.
Again, Ada Wright playing the dominant role here right now as far as setup, cross court, getting into points here, and she's doing it against Paris Todd.
Yeah, and we're seeing Wright gain the confidence and gain the experience. the more she plays.
What is that?
I mean,
beautiful reset off of a
she
big
doesn't.
forehand.
She doesn't try to do a whole lot with it. She just puts the paddle there. It drops a little bit just to absorb some of that power. If she hits that now, or tries to hit back through that now, she's in trouble. But just putting the paddle there and stabbing that back over almost.
What a firefight there. And then it ends with a ball that just drops straight down on the net.
It sat on top of the net for a second.
I mean, Etta Wright was almost staring at it going, no, you're not going to. You are.
Try to get up there and
You
blow
are.
on it as fast as you can.
Yeah. That's it right there. It's Chuck Taylor taking that ball out of the air with the controlled speed up.
Yeah, good reach in, takes away the time, doesn't try to do too much.
Good recovery from Navratil. And then that ball just drops. Can't handle it, and it is a 19-13 lead. Lions in control here. Looking to go up 2-1. I like the idea of where Chuck Taylor's going with that third shot drop.
Yeah, he's looking to isolate the Todd forehand again. But you don't have to be fine with that one. She's struggled some, really tentative on that forehand right now. Just make the ball. It doesn't have to be perfect.
Job by Navratil inserting himself. He's looking to be a little more aggressive right now and take some more balls.
Yeah, and he has to, especially there, because Wright was doing a good job of putting the pressure on Todd's forehand. She wasn't going back cross court very often.
And there's the decision making from Chuck Taylor. He can't go into these funks right now, and especially right now with a lead.
No, and that's not the right ball to speed up. It's a little too low. Really hard to bring that back in the back of the court.
A little indecision there from Etta Wright, and it looks like possible timeout coming from the Lions. I mean, I'm calling it right now before it gets too far back into it.
No, they're going to go one more point. But again, it's these matches are coming down to who plays the cleanest pickleball within the last 5-6 points.
Paris Todd was on a mission there. She was not slowing anything down. And here's the timeout from the Lions. I just still think it's 1 point too late. Now they're within one. Next point, they tie it up. Call that timeout at least 1 point earlier. Now you got 2 points to work with. Now it's do or die here. You do not want them to tie it up. But if you're the Lions, you're Olivia McMillan, you're Thomas Wilson in their huddle. What are you telling them right now as far as Chuck Taylor and Etta Wright?
Well, we just saw the pace of the game switch a little bit. Taylor and Wright made a couple of errors, and then Todd being aggressive there on that last one. Look for Todd and Navratil to continue being aggressive here. So Taylor and Wright have to look to either counter or slow this ball down with an angle. They can't just stand there and try to absorb and keep feeding a ball back in front of Navratil and Todd, because they're going to try to pick that up and speed something up. It's okay to go back out and test Todd's forehand. Oh my God.
No, that is not what Taylor and Wright needed out of that timeout. Another net dribbler.
Yeah, that bounced on the net twice right there and still went over.
Paris Todd is on a mission here to get BLQK back here. And it is match point here for BLQK when it looked like the Lions were in control, up by 5. And Chuck Taylor answering that right now. But both teams locked in at this score. Traditional scoring from here on out. Missed drop. He just came up on that. As soon as he went to hit that, it just looked like disaster as soon as he went to hit the ball.
Yeah, he got low, and then right as he was hitting, he stood up, so he lost the base. And then there, straight leg again, just throw a hand out there.
Yeah, you have to play a complete game if you want to beat two players like Navratil and Todd.
Yeah, and just too many errors by the Lions coming down the stretch, and we saw that in the men's doubles, right? Hewitt and Navratil making some errors going down the stretch. We've seen it all day long, actually, with one team's being ahead, and then we get to this point, 18, even 17, 18 and above, these errors creep in, and then all of a sudden you're giving away the match.
And the next matchup, we got Tereschenko Hewitt versus Wilson and McMillan. Great comeback there from Paris Todd and Zane Navratil. I mean, that is all Paris Todd on that comeback, as she just was a woman on a mission throughout that last. When they went down 5, Paris Todd almost looked at Zane and said, hey, I got you. I'll jump on my back and we'll ride this out, but we're not giving up here down 5. But Rob Cassidy is courtside with Paris Todd and Zane Navratil. What do you got, Rob?
All right, team, congrats on a clutch win. Zane, you've been with Team BLQK since the beginning of the season this year, and you guys took the first event. Winning an event like that, does that build confidence for a team, or does that kind of put pressure on you guys moving forward?
No, I mean, like, the only thing you get out of being a top team in this is you are you're guaranteed to not be in the same pool as one of the other top finishers. Other than that, it doesn't get us any points, doesn't get us anything but a little pressure, and we like it. We like the pressure.
And you guys have earned that, and you're continuing to play great. Paris, it takes a support team to have that type of success on the court. Is there anybody here or not here that you'd like to give a shout out to say hi to or thank?
It was actually my grandma's birthday the other day, so I want to say happy birthday, Grandma.
Awesome. And Zane, you have family here as well. How does it feel to have your family here with you, supporting you along the way?
BLQK has the best fan section out there, for sure. Absolutely.
There you have it, folks. BLQK, made with love. Happy birthday, Grandma. Back to you, Dom and Chad.
All right, we're going to take a quick commercial break. BLQK up 2-1 here, looking to end this in the 4 games and not have that dream breaker come. But Thomas Wilson, Olivia McMillan, they have something to say about that. We'll take a quick commercial break. When we come back, that last matchup, mixed doubles, here on Championship Court at MLP Columbus. Major League Pickleball is brought to you by Pro XR Pickleball, Aura, Franklin, and Knock Around Sunglasses.
It's hard to find supplements that work. No, thank you. You need supplements that are backed by science with natural and plant-based ingredients and that are third-party tested. Because cleaner is better. Like Ora Organic. Plant-based supplements made from the Earth's most powerful plants for your immune health, gut health, workouts, and more. Find out more at oraorganic.com.
The Pro XR pickleball paddle answers the age-old question of how to get paddle speed and control with the same paddle and one grip, and this is it. Pro XR gives you more spin, greater control, and quicker reloads on every shot in the game, because you always have that constant feel for that leverage and control and paddle speed that we're all looking for. Pro XR is the most revolutionary technology in pickleball.
What are you guys doing?
Getting our duper tattoos.
Oh, cool.
Hey Cameron, how's it going?
Almost done.
Perfect. Can't wait to see your number.
Number?
Duper, because ratings shouldn't be a surprise. Download the app and claim your free profile today.
I haven't even started yet.
Oh.
Welcome back to Championship Court. Fourth and deciding game here. The Lions trying to push to the Dreambreaker. BLQK looking to get out of here 3-1 again, and it'd be the same exact thing. BLQK women win, the men lose, and then they would take two mixed doubles matches. But Thomas Wilson and Olivia McMillan are going to have something to say about that, Chad.
Yeah, the guys are going to be the X factor in this one. McMillan has the ability to have that flick, speed the ball up, control it out wide. Gonna have to try to keep Hewitt honest. I like the matchup of the ladies in front of each other.
Good start for BLQK.
Yeah, good movement by Wilson and McMillan there, but Hewitt, perfect example of solid base, reach in, accelerate through that ball.
Oh, Hewitt ATP right there on the two-handed backhand side. I mean, this is clean. This is inside the line. Oh, no, it's right on the line.
Right on the line. I think Wilson thought that McMillan's ball was going to go out, so he didn't move out there with that one.
Oh, that ball is sailing out and probably going to be in the first row here. Wilson can't get out of the way.
It was definitely hitting our signs in the back on the fly.
Wow, Irina Tereshchenko just does such a good job of adjusting backhand to forehand and then keeping balls in play.
I would have liked to see Wilson stay in front of McMillan on that one once he sped it up into Tereshchenko. Kind of sped it up and then took a step back, cross court. You know, if you're going to speed up, just go for it.
Lions on the board here, 1-4. Nice drop from McMillan. Oh, Thomas Wilson and Olivia McMillan going I formation. I mean, we are in one of the college football capitals of the country, why not do a little I formation here as we're basically on the campus of Ohio State.
Yeah, paddle face 2 open for McMillan there. Ball pops up and just sits and floats. Good reach in by Hewitt. Wilson trying to back up, get into defensive mode.
Big ball off that Electrum paddle from Thomas Wilson. And creeping back in here are the Lions. What? That was not a traditional lob.
Oh,
that lob was an inside
out lob.
Flip.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's the screwball lob right there. Yeah, good move by Tarashenko. I mean, that's a good return from McMillan, all the way back on the baseline. But Tarashenko just recognizing Hewitt's going to put a good drive on it, get up there, step in, shake and bake.
Wow, what a drop from Tarashenko. I mean, that's turning defense into offense right there for BLQK as they were on their heels. An 8-3 lead here for BLQK, in control this fourth and final matchup. Hewitt possibly playing an out ball. Just wide cross court. Ends up hurting them right there as McMillan and Wilson back on the board, down by 4 here. That ball basically hitting him in the side of the face.
I was gonna say, yes, I know that ball's going out, but I'm trying to protect my throat and my chin on that one.
Wilson reading that right, just can't get on top of it. And Tarashenko off her hand to block that back over, and for you guys at home, that is legal. Anything from the wrist down is considered part of your paddle, so if she hits that ball off her hand and it goes over, obviously paddle hand. Can't use her offhand. Oh, Thomas Wilson getting really active here.
And that was a better job by Wilson. He's been moving well, but he's gotten a little big with a couple of his swings. That one, keeping the paddle out in front. Quick acceleration through it.
Oh, that ball just missing the baseline back there. I don't mind the idea. If he gets that, if he can get that within a foot, that ball is dropping.
Yeah, I'd like to see that more from Wilson. Again, you know, McMillan's still the one that's getting pressured. Have Wilson keep sliding more middle until they keep him honest and go back behind him, but try to take off some of that pressure that McMillan's feeling right now.
Well, BLQK will take the advantage on the end change, up 11-8 here, and kind of add on to what you were saying right there, Chad, with what McMillan and Wilson need to do. Again, Wilson's being very active, right? And so BLQK trying to take him out. What does BLQK need to continue to do to keep Wilson out of this?
Well, I think they keep going at McMillan. You know, have Wilson force the issue of he's going to come over and step in front, try to take some balls away from or not from, but in front of McMillan to ease some of that pressure. And once Wilson moves over, then they go back behind him. Then they start trying to keep him honest, and then they open it back up to go at McMillan again.
All right, so players just about ready to go on this end change. BLQK with a slight 3-point advantage here. 11-8. Wilson and McMillan looking to side out quickly here. Get back within 2. Float serve from Tereshchenko. McMillan going for the Ernie right there, but just a little late ball, traveled a little too far, dropped a little too low, and a 4-point advantage for BLQK. Great return from McMillan, putting pressure on Tereshchenko. Beautifully done right there on that deep return again, as you saw. But yeah, that's a ball Tereshchenko doesn't miss very often.
No, and it got on her a little faster than she anticipated. We saw the paddle get caught back behind. That's typically the reason why we miss into the net, is that ball's getting too far behind and we're not able to bring it back forward. Step up.
Wilson had it set up nicely because he had Hewitt pinched all the way over on the Tereshchenko side. He hits that drive, but then can't hit the second one.
Yeah, he just looked like he looked up right before he hit the ball. Didn't come up like he was expecting. Caught the bottom edge guard.
And that's what Wilson needs to do. He needs to continue to be aggressive here. I know he's taken about 75–80% of the court from McMillan, but they're being successful doing it.
Yeah, keep doing it until BLQK goes behind you and keeps you honest.
That's a great job and a good flip in the middle, Chad.
Yeah, he held that really well. He'd been going in that cross court with Tereshchenko. Quick flip back through the middle. Hewitt trying to catch up with it. In reality, that's Tereshchenko's ball because she has a little bit more reaction time.
I mean, how good is Wilson feeling right now, Chad? He's all over the court.
Yeah, I like the movement. I like the aggression. Question is, when you're this active and you're hitting so many balls and going 3/4, if not more, of the court, how long can you stay within this before your legs start to burn?
Oh, McMillan does a great job on covering the around the post. but can't get the easy one on the drop cross court. McMillan plays an out ball, and instead of being all square at 14, it's a 2-point lead for BLQK.
Yeah, it's a tough one. I mean, you've gotten used to Wilson stepping in and hitting those balls, and then all of a sudden you expect him to hit it, and he steps away, and you're like, oh, I got to hit that ball. Just wide.
Thomas Wilson with the very obvious "that's out" call. Back within 1. Rare miss on a third shot drive there from Thomas Wilson. He's been pretty money on those this whole match. BLQK able to get McMillan involved. They get a pop-up and something they're looking for.
Yeah, it's a good step over by Hewitt, and we saw Tereshchenko basically standing off the side of the court.
Job by Rafa Hewitt keeping them in this point, letting Tereshchenko clean that up. Tereshchenko on McMillan just dropping that paddle, just not happy at all after that point. And BLQK again sitting in the driver's seat here, this 4th match, up 19-14. What was the difference for BLQK here, Chad, as we were even at 14?
Well, I mean, Wilson took control of the points there for a little while until BLQK was able to start isolating McMillan again. But like I said, when you're pressing, you're going that hard, you can only stay in that intensity for so long. Now, all of a sudden, if Wilson isn't able to take up all of that court, now it opens back up for McMillan to be isolated, and that's exactly what has happened. Almost they're playing, a quarter, if not an eighth of the court, because it's just going straight down that line to McMillan.
And you're exactly right. We saw it a little bit earlier, but you get gassed. You've been doing it so much the whole match that legs a little bit maybe for Thomas Wilson. They're wearing him out a little bit, but I think they've found McMillan the last 2 points a little bit. It's been to their advantage.
Well, we saw it in men's doubles with Hewitt. He had a couple of great plays, and then all of a sudden you're missing easy balls because your legs are just gassed.
Now that's a big confidence booster at that point for Olivia McMillan. She handled Tereshchenko very well and is able to get the side out. Let's see if she can do it again.
No.
Not happening right there, and it is match point here as BLQK is at 20. They are frozen and can only score on their serve. And McMillan thought that Wilson was going to step in front. He doesn't, and it is a 21-15 victory for BLQK. Again, BLQK answering the bell after their men lose. They come back and take both mixed doubles matches. Great job by BLQK answering the bell. 21-15 for Tereshchenko and Hewitt. Congratulations to them. But again, moving on, BLQK sitting pretty today, Chad. They're 2-0 on the day. What's that mean for them going into Saturday?
Well, they're 2-0. They've had success in women's doubles, which we've already established is an extremely important point. They're having success in mixed doubles. You know, men's doubles, I'm not too worried about. They've lost a couple of close ones, but if we look back to Newport Beach, the Ranchers with Young and Ignatovic, they didn't win a men's doubles point until the final. So I think for Hewitt and Navratil, they're seasoned, they've played together a ton, they're going to keep rolling through. So I think it's more important to focus on, hey, we're having success in mixed and we're having success in women's.
All right, we are going to shoot it down to Rob Cassidy, who's courtside with a whole team BLQK, it looks like. Rob, take it away.
All right, here with our winners, Team BLQK. Rafa, you just mentioned, you guys are just getting started. What goes into a long weekend like this, keeping the longevity, keeping it going up until Championship Sunday?
Yeah, I'm just trying to keep my voice, really. That's what I'm trying to do here.
Yeah. Well, we're excited to listen to you lose it, winning these matches. Irina, I could ask this to any four of you, but Irina, how does it feel to establish yourself as one of the best players in pickleball in the world?
Is it down the line or cross court?
Well, fortunately, you're so good at dinking, you get to choose. But, yeah, so some close matches in there, would you guys say? Some a little tighter than you might have been used to. Zane, I'm going to ask you, how does BLQK to continue to get it done?
I've said a bunch of times, MLP is not about pickleball, it's about energy, and we have the best energy, for sure.
Nice, and we just experienced it here. More to come here at MLP Ohio. Thank you, guys.
All right, BLQK 2-0, sitting pretty going into Saturday. They are done for the day. We'll take a commercial break. When we come back, next matchup here on Championship Court, we'll pit the Ranchers, who are 1-0 today, taking on the Bus, who lost in a Dream Breaker earlier, so they are down 0-1, need this matchup. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back here at MLP Columbus.